and welcome to Insurance Mantra, your weekly guide to understand the world of insurance only on ET Now. In this week's episode, we focus on growing role of insurance brokers and how they are transforming the way customers buy and experience insurance. Joining me on the show is Dr. Sandeep Dadia, CEO and country head of Lockton, India, one of the leading global insurance broking firm. We will discuss the future of broking in India, the impact of open architecture, and how brokers can enhance transparency and build greater trust among customers. Dr. Dadia, welcome to Insurance Mantra. It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you, Anurag, for inviting me.
Yes, sir. So, sir, to begin with, I just want to ask you, over the years, how broking in India has changed, and do you think that scope is a lot given the penetration, and now the broking business can grow manifold in coming years?
You hit the right nail, Anurag. Overall broking, I see a huge potential in India for it to grow. From where we were, and we started around 20 years back or more, slightly more, I think 2003. And from there till now, broking has already captured 37% of the market share in terms of the total quantum of premium underwritten on the general insurance side. Now, 37% is a very large number. Brokers are increasing their market share across all the line of verticals: property, engineering, health, and then we have liability lines of business, we have miscellaneous lines of business, marine lines of business. Significant uptake and acceptance of the broker in the market.
Okay. So just for our viewers' benefit, can you explain them, means how this your business works? Means you act as a bridge between customers and insurance companies, means how it functions?
So one thing one must realize is brokers are the only intermediaries which represents customers. The most important part of this journey is we represent customers. Second thing, at least at Lockton, what we follow, and I think most of the good brokers must be following the same model. What we do is we go to the client, we understand what is the client industry, we understand what are the risks associated to that industry. Then we see what is the client buying as an insurance risk cover. What is he not buying? We find the gap analysis. We find and identify those places and then cover the client with an insurance policy. Where the insurance is not possible for it to be transferred to the for the client is not able to mitigate that risk by way of an insurance, we give a mitigation plan as well to the client. But in today's time, most of the clients may not even know what is the risk associated with their industry.
Okay, sir. So my next question is that only, because the kind of risk is also changing. The nature of risk is changing for individuals, for business, and protection gap is there. So what does it mean in terms of kind of protection the customer or policyholder actually need?
See, we are talking about two kinds of customers. We are talking about the corporate customers and we are talking about the individual customers who are buying individual motor, individual health and all. Now, the risk profile and the need of a risk cover are different for both the segments. For a retail insurance, or maybe we call it for individual health or motor, they need to be covered for their home, they need to be covered for their health and motor, which is happening. However, in home insurance, the penetration in India is abysmally low. And I'll just share some data. I mean, in middle class and below people, or maybe even the rich class, lower end of the rich class, 90% of their asset on their balance sheet is their home. Okay. And that is uninsured.
Uninsured.
I don't believe this. I can't believe this. That how can they not insure the biggest asset of their life? On the commercial line side or on the corporate side, corporates are buying those traditional insurances, but now there are multiple new insurances available. And I'm saying insurance innovation from a product standpoint. And products are evolved as per the risk which is changing. I'll just give you a few examples. 2005, we had a huge flood, right? Most of the Mumbaikars realized that there is a river in Mumbai. None of us, most of the people in Mumbai did not know there was a river. And huge loss. We've seen floods in Chennai, two alternate years. We've seen floods in desert area. We've seen a pandemic. Now, tell me one thing, how many of these risks were ever predicted? None. There was a landslide causing river course change. And that actually made the certain hydropower plant made a huge loss. So the catastrophic events are changing, the man-made events are changing, the risk events are changing, but the impact of all the events is financial loss and the loss to the life.
But so many events you have mentioned, and the public at large have also seen it, and they have suffered losses also. But still, awareness is not there. According to you, on which front means insurance industry is lacking? Because as you mentioned, the property insurance, I guess hardly, if you will do a survey of 100 properties, you will find hardly one or two only will be insured.
Individual homes.
Only, I mean. There are few efforts by regulator, few campaigns by insurance industry, but still we are much behind.
I do agree to that data point that we are much behind, but I think we will catch up very soon. See, the regulator today, what we see is this regulator, this government listens to the problem of the society, and they bring a lot of positive changes. And because of these changes, the penetration and overall the insurance, the buyer's mentality is changing. So regulator is doing its wonderful job. Government is helping us, and we've seen one of the biggest ways they've reduced the GST. And I'm pretty hopeful it will increase the penetration of the insurance sector. Third thing we come up about is the buyer. Now today we don't see an insurance trend where most of the buyers just get up in the morning and they say, "Oh, I want to buy an insurance policy." That is not happening. Because it is not a buyer's market, it's a seller's market, and we literally have to solicit the business. So I think this awareness is increasing day by day with the number of catastrophes and all. So I see a hugely positive trend.
Okay. Sir, there are so many reforms also. You mentioned about the GST reduction, and there is a good traction, at least in last 1 month, because from 22nd of September it's got implemented. There are a couple of other reforms also lined up in form of Insurance Act amendment. But last to last year, government allowed 100% FDI in the broking industry. So according to you, how that really helped the broking, and have you seen the capital flow after that 100% rule?
Yeah, so see, many brokers, I mean, we are one of the people who have entered India, Lockton, because there is a 100% FDI. We are a privately owned company. So the overall industry is seeing a lot of positive trend because of that 100% FDI. Brokers can bring their technology, they can bring their global knowledge, they can bring their placement markets, they can bring their wordings which they are being placed. So there is a lot of intelligence which is coming, which is a global intelligence serving the Indian customer. So there has been a hugely positive upside and uptake because of this 100% FDI. Okay. And brokers are entering, many would want to enter. I think 60% of the top 10 brokers have already entered the country, and many more will come. You would see a lot of private equity players have started and shown great interest in insurance broking. So I think the trend is changing. It is becoming more and more professional world. It is becoming more and more capital intensive world. So if you see the quantum of capital, I may not have the exact number at this moment, but it's a significant number which is entering India. Okay. So people want to open their shop in India.
People want to open their shop in India, and now in upcoming winter session, that 100% FDI already it's announced in the budget, but we'll get Parliament's approval, and there are a few other reforms also: composite license, open architecture. Yeah. So according to you, how all these combination of everything will change the landscape?
See, it's all moving towards a positive. We have identified the problem that penetration has to increase, and that the regulator is doing the best to increase the penetration and the density, of course. Now, there will be multiple changes at multiple stakeholders level which will be required. One is from the insurers, second is from the investors in the insurance companies, third is from the reinsurer side, and we've seen, I think if I'm not mistaken, more than 18-20 reinsurers have applied in GIFT City also to enter. So the reinsurers are entering the market. So now is the time that we have to create an education for the people to start understanding the risk and start buying the risk covers. So I think we are at the cusp of a multi-decade bull run in insurance sector.
Okay, multi-decade bull run. There is a target given by IRDA for insurance for all. We are at 3 lakh crore in general insurance, but regulator want to reach at 12 lakh crore in next 5 years. So do you think it's achievable?
I would like to believe it is definitely achievable because the number of people who are getting insured are increasing every year. The government is also conscious about giving insurance to the states, at the central level. The insurance companies are increasing their own penetration. Now, I'll just give you an example. For them also to remain positive and profitable, they'll have to insure new people every year.
Okay.
So, I mean,
so
if you
they
go,
will also try their best.
So it's going to be an overall effort. One is, of course, the regulator is going to give us a performing platform where we can actually spread the awareness. Government is doing all its steps by taking and making those great changes in the taxation reforms. And now industry players are also doing the same. Brokers are doing the same. Insurance companies are doing the same. Number of agents, field force. I think if I'm not mistaken, nearly 49 lakh agents are there in the country. And probably you'll be very surprised with the number. Nearly 40% of the total individual distributors, agents I would say, 40% comprised of females.
Okay.
One of the biggest ever data. So just imagine the quantum of people who are selling insurance are far too many, and it will go on increasing to serve 140 crore of population.
The agents only, and now there is a proposal from government to allow open architecture. So what's your view? So after open architecture, number of agents will increase, and how open architecture will have an impact on broking industry?
See, I don't see much of an impact on broking industry because the quantum of level and the way which we are able to service a customer. I mean, we have a team of few hundreds of people who are servicing a customer. And I'm sure many of the agents will cope up to that level to make it to that big. But it is highly capital intensive. But yes, an individual agent will be able to give a choice to an end user or a customer for them to select an insurance company or from the best of the insurance companies. It's going to be, a difference is going to be the capital requirement. I mean, brokers, why can't those agents become brokers? I don't know, because if they want to have a multiple architecture, they should rather become brokers. But if government is thinking, I'm sure they have some positive data to think about those. And they will make an open architecture, but it will be always benefiting the customer for sure.
Okay, benefiting the customer for sure, but there is another... lot of experts are saying that if open architecture is allowed, mis-selling may increase.
See, there are two concepts. One is the actual mis-selling and second is the perceived mis-selling. So, I have seen in my experience, many of the customers, when they are aggrieved from some other intermediary, they contact us, can you help us out? When I go there and when I ask them, this was there in the policy and that's why the claim is rejected. Oh, I never read my policy document. So it is very important for us to understand what document we are buying or what policy contract we are buying. Second thing, most of the people don't insure themselves, saving the cost that time. But that is the worst thing that can happen, because only an actuary or probably only the God can predict whether there is going to be a claim or not. So not buying an insurance is not a wise thing to do. So grievances are increasing because of that. Whether they are classified under mis-selling or not bought is something which they need to understand.
Okay.
But overall, if you go to see the grievances in India, I was just going to some data. Total quantum of grievances is just 0.006% of the total number of policies and lives insured. And if you go to see the per lakh grievances, there are only 6 grievances per lakh. So I don't know whether there are actual grievances or not. And from those, that filter also will come out.
So you mean to say that open architecture will be beneficial for all stakeholders?
There will be a gap in the knowledge, and which I think the individual agent will have to fill up that gap. Because whether that individual will be able to sell a specialized insurance or some kind of a specialized product, these are all very highly complex risks. So it requires different knowledge. So they'll have to cope up with those.
Cope up with that. Thank you so much, Sandeep Dadia, for sharing your valuable insights.